The way he puts shit together, the way he connects is very unique. I feel like he's the only one that raps the way he raps. He only gave us half a round. We want that other half, nigga.
Thank you, ARP, for not making that battle happen. That was the greatest thing that ever happened in my life, bro.
No wonder you stand up here looking like a broke-ass Kevin Garnett. That's that bullshit perception. The difference between a nigga who could have went to the NBA, but would rather pretend to be a Minnesota Wolves of respect.
I sat there for 3 years in a room crafting some of my niggas.
Purchase your ticket to be in the building or catch it live on pay-per-view stream.
What was it like feeling a grudge towards me after the King Los battle didn't go down?
Nah, look. All right, so it wasn't necessarily a grudge because, you know, me and you, like the world don't know this, but we kept in contact even after the King Los battle. Like then, like a month afterwards, we was texting. You know what I mean? So we've always kept in contact behind the scenes. It ain't like we just like, fuck you, and it's the first time I'm ever talking to you again. Like we always was back and forth and throughout the scenes, yada, yada, yada. But it wasn't necessarily a grudge. It was more so, it was one of those moments where a nigga brought me a question and said 1 + 1, and the nigga said it's 3. And I'm like, wait, my nigga, it can't be 3. Like, it was one of those moments, like, I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I really didn't get it. And even though you explained why, you know, you pulled out on the battle or ECT, yada, 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 I still don't get it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's still like, as time progressed, it just didn't make sense to me. So it wasn't that I held a grudge or I just didn't, I just wanted to just separate myself, not only from you guys or King Los or anyone. It was more so like maybe this is a sign. And I think where I'm at in life right now, I understand signs. Maybe you pulling me off that card was something universal. Maybe you didn't really understand it, but it was a universal, something in the universe that, hey, we don't want this to happen right now. Actually, we don't want you in this culture at all right now. Maybe it's time for you to restart your legacy. And that's kind of how I took it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull out a battle rap. Because you got to think, I didn't battle for 3 years after that. I could have just said, okay, me and RB didn't go down. Let me go do URL. Let me go do I Battle Lead or any of these other leads that I normally battle on. But I didn't battle at all. Like, no, not just RB, no lead, no other lead. I didn't battle at all for 3 years. And I think that 3 years had a lot to do with just tapping in with myself, finding myself, you know, fixing a lot of things about myself as a human being, growing musically, doing a lot of things musically. Shouts out to my team, Punch, Room Full of Mirrors, the whole TDE camp. Shouts out to everybody that's cooking. But I think it just was one of those moments where I felt like the universe told me, hey, Daylyt, it's time for you to rebrand. So it was a blessing in disguise. Like, and earlier when it happened, I was mad because I wrote 3 rounds for Los and I really wanted to do it. And I was trying to make my name bigger and trying to, you know, it was all like, this is going to help me get in the industry and yada, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I was just thinking way off back then. But now where I'm at right now, I'm like, yo, that shit was epic. Because think, if you wouldn't have never, well, once again, going into cause and effect and chain effects of things that happen subconsciously without us even knowing it's supposed to happen. So if you wouldn't have never canceled me and Los, Daylyt and Tay-Rock would have never happened. It would have never happened the way it happened. It wouldn't have happened. You got to think that battle failed on COVID in the small room. It happened absolutely perfect. And if King Los and Daylyt would have happened earlier, me and Tay-Rock wouldn't have happened. And then me and Los battle wouldn't have been as big as it was now coming off the Tay-Rock battle. So everything happens for a reason. I'm just starting to understand that. So even though I was kind of mad earlier, like, I appreciate everything that happened. Actually, thank you. Thank you for taking me off that card. Thank you. I highly appreciate it, because you taking me off that card landed me a major music deal. Nigga sold maximum albums, all type of shit. It was all type of shit happened. So thanks.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. So one thing that I told myself I didn't want to do when the first time the fans get a chance to see me and you back on camera, because like you said, behind the scenes we've been rocking for years. It's just they didn't notice, because now we got the battle coming up July 10th. So now me and you's doing promotion. We on camera together. We talking about things publicly that we've already had conversations about in private. But I told myself, when we get to the promotion side of things, I'm not gonna make it about me at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get in an interview with Day and ask him his feelings about the King Los thing and be the guy that's like, oh no, I disagree with this, or this is how I felt. I want it to be about Daylyt. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all the words that you just said. You know, we've had private conversations about the situation that were very, very good for you and I as men, for us, obviously, as a culture, because one thing that I'm going to hone on that you said is bigger now. It being bigger now, I don't have no problem letting the public know. You're being paid like what? 8 times more than you've ever made on RBE for this battle. You know what I'm saying? So they overcharging us for what we did to the Cold Crush, and that's me sarcastically taking blame.
It's another thing. It's another aspect inside this battle that's happening too. So it's like, you know, the world don't know. Like, I just got my oldest son back in my life. You know, and people thought I was trolling, but like I tell people, like, Troll Daylyt died literally the day that me and King Los didn't happen. Like that was it. That was like the wake up call for me. But here I am, you know, 2021. I just got my oldest son back in my life. The last time I seen him, he was 4 years old. And the last time before that, he was 1 year old. Okay. So it was 1 year old, 4 years old, and now he's 16 years old. He'll be 17 this year. And I just got him back this year. So you know, and I'm not afraid to admit this. When we was like in the process of doing everything and going to court and back and forth and yada yada yada, he asked me, he was like, yo, Dad, man, like, because I remind you guys, like, I wasn't gonna battle after Tay-Rock until, you know, either me and another situation was locked in via Loaded Lux or another situation. But that's so much in the air, we still don't really have a confirmed date for that. But my son literally asked me, he was like, yo, Day, like, I want to see, like, Dad, I want to see you battle in person. And I'm like, damn, it hit different in the scenario now. Like, yo, he want to see me fucking, he want to see his pops do what he do. Like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then, you know, we got into talking about life, and I'm like, so what's been going on? And he like, yo, man, you know, shit been hard. Where we at? Yada yada yada. And I never had this, and I never had that, and I never had this. And I told my son this. I said, all right, son, I'm gonna take this next battle, and every dollar I get from it, you can have it. So this whole check for the King Los battle is going to my son.
Purchase your ticket to be in the building or catch it live on pay-per-view stream.